Hello guys, how are we all? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. Today I actually thought we would have a good old catch up because I feel like, for one, it's been a while, and two, don't know if you guys have saw, but I've recently started doing a little tea with Laura on my Instagram. So every Wednesday I just literally sit down with a cup of tea, ask you guys if you want to have a little chat, whether it's advice, questions you want to ask me, links you need for things, and yeah, I just thought off the back of that, there's just so many questions and maybe just things that I haven't really caught up with you over on YouTube about in recent times. So I just thought it'd be nice to actually have like one video where we just have a good old chin wag and catch up, because I feel like sometimes in my vlogs I'm obviously out and about doing bits and I don't always get to sit down and have like deep chats with you. So yeah, let's have a chat. I've got my iced coffee. Honestly, this is how serious I'm taking not buying takeout coffees now. I've even bought one of these little glass jars with a lid on. I don't know, this was from Dunelm, it was £3. Oh my god, my straw is stuck. Honestly, sensational. You're not getting a better coffee than that. Anyway, right, get yourself comfy, go and grab a coffee, tea, peppermint tea, water, whatever it is you're drinking, and let's get into the questions. I'm going to go back. So I've currently just done the second week of Chat with Laura, so let me go through the questions from both of the weeks and I'll pick out the best ones. Okay, let's start with a deep question first of all, and the first question is there anything you regret in life? Now, I tend not to like to have regrets because I like to live in the perspective of everything you do in life is what you want in that moment of time. However, I feel like as I've got older, you definitely do look back at certain periods of your life and maybe not so much regret, but yeah, I guess regret and wishing that you did things differently. Like having the knowledge you know now, you wouldn't have done that. So my biggest one is actually my long-term relationship that I got in when I was, oh, how old was I? Maybe like 18? No, yeah, I must have been 18 when I got into that relationship. And if you guys have been with me since that time in my life, which I feel like I'd started doing YouTube at the end of the relationship, you'll know I was in that relationship for, I think it was coming up to like 8 years. So from when I was 18 to 25, 6, that's actually madness. So like I say, I think it's hard to regret because obviously at that time I wanted to be in a relationship, I wanted to be loved, like I wanted to have someone there, and I think because I'd gone like the whole of my life up until that point without really like good friendships, you know, just feeling loved by someone and not really having, you know, a boyfriend, when I got into that I was just so besotted with that situation. But actually, in the reality, I think if I took a step back and actually analysed it, like, hey, is this actually your forever person? Like, would you want to spend the rest of your life with them? You know, like, are they holding you down from opportunities? Like, if I'd actually assessed it like that, all of their answers would have been like, yes, they're holding you down. Yes, they're stopping you from living your life. Yes, you're wasting your time, essentially. And yes, this isn't your forever person. But I don't think I ever really thought of it like that. I would say as I got more into the relationship, like, let's say 24, I started thinking, oh, I don't know if this is my forever person. Like, if they proposed to me, would I say yes? Probably not. And I was starting to feel unhappy. And then I think, sorry, I'm really going deep here, but I think for me, because I don't like upsetting people, I then was in fear of like ending the relationship because they were a good person. I didn't want to upset them, and it just got very messy. But the long and the short of it is, I do regret that relationship. I don't like saying regret because I can't live like that. But do you know what I mean? Like, if there was something I could go back and tell my younger self, it would be, do not get in a relationship when you are 18. Because I just feel like you are changing as a person so much from when you're 18 to like your mid-20s. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people that make that work. There's plenty of people that do find their soulmate when they're 18, 19, and that's amazing. But a lot of times in life, what you will see is people will grow together or they'll grow apart. You'll either align from the offset and you'll stay aligned and you'll be with them forever. But more times than not, I feel like people just grow apart and then they just change, because the 20s for me, just those years of like figuring out who you are, what you want, where you want to go, like what life is all about. I mean, we're still figuring it out now, but especially the 20s, like when you've got big decisions like college, uni, job, just everything. But yeah, it's just crazy because like there was certain situations, like a job that I got offered in Manchester that I turned down for him because he was like, I'll split up with you if you go. So many like places that I wish I'd have travelled that I didn't because I was in a relationship, you know. So yeah, that's the answer to that. And sorry, that was really long. Next question is, are you still friends with any other content creators? Now, this is a really good question. And the honest answer is like kind of yes and kind of no. I feel like it just depends on what you define as a friend. So for me, a friend is someone that is like close in my life, someone that I speak to, you know, daily, weekly. I have like lots of interactions with. So I don't like the word acquaintances because that makes it feel like you're not friendly with them. But there's obviously a lot of creators that I know, you know, I have little DMs with and little chats with, and I like to think we're friends, but we're not like friends as in like, I'll go and meet up with them for a coffee, you know? I mean, some I would, but life's busy, like I don't have time for all these friendships. But yeah, in regards to maybe like content creators that you've seen me with in videos over the years, not friends with any of them anymore. And I'll be honest as well, I feel like it's hard being friends with content creators sometimes when you're doing the same things, because I think sometimes it can conflict. I think sometimes like it isn't always the case, because sometimes people will just stay in their own lane, and even if you're doing similar stuff, people just stay in their own lane and you both want the best for each other, you both support each other. But what I have found with some content creators is they will start copying what you're doing because they'll see you doing something and then they will then jump on that. Before you know, they're literally copying every video you're doing, and like, how can you be friends with someone like that? It's like in a job. And sometimes I just think as well with like being friends with content creators, I've definitely been friends with people that they're just not who I thought they were as well. I think that's a big thing. Like, you can see someone online and think they're one person, but actually they can be a complete different person in real life, and there's just so much that you wouldn't even know about them, because like people are really good at being one person online and another person offline. Like it's wild. Yeah, anyway, so to answer that question, I don't have like an abundance of content creator friends. I obviously have my best friend Georgia, who creates content, and we're really close where we're aligned, we're on the same level. It's amazing, and it's lovely having that, because not only do we obviously just work well together in the terms of like creating content with each other, and we support each other, like we just get it, and we cheer each other on and want the best for each other. But I feel like that is very, very hard to find in this industry, because there are a lot of people that will befriend you for a gain, or oh my god, I don't know if any of you guys see this as well, but I see so many content creators almost jumping on the new content creator in the industry to befriend, because they know like it helps their profile. Like, oh my god, that is such a big thing that happens in this industry. Like, there's so many fake people that just befriend all these content creators to like, they have a motive. It's because it gets themselves out there. And to be honest, it's probably why I'm not, this is going to sound really ruthless, but it's probably why, I don't want this to sound arrogant either, but it's probably one reason why I'm not as big as I could be, because a lot of the people that are big have had almost like help get in there. They've like been clever in like getting friendly with people to help them gain. Does that make sense? But I don't do that. Like, if I don't align with someone, then you're not my friend. I'm not going to befriend someone just to be like, just for a motive. So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, next question. I really like this one actually. What's something not many people know about you that you're comfortable sharing? So I feel like I've briefly spoken about this before in videos, so I don't think it'd be like super like, oh my god, I didn't know that. But a few things. So I feel like a lot of people would think that I'm like super confident, like I'm, you know, I might come across sometimes on like videos that I'm like really confident, like got my shit together, like I'm happy with my appearance, my body and all of that, but actually I'm not. Like, I'm really, really insecure. I pick myself apart a lot, probably more than what people realise, and I often have meltdowns. And yeah, I feel like I've got better in recent years, but that did used to consume me a lot at one point. I also have undiagnosed ADHD, and I like to say undiagnosed because obviously I've not been assessed for it, but it's obvious. And I feel like since I've been reading a lot of ADHD books, and since I've been reading about it, I'm like, oh my god, like my whole life makes sense now. Like, everything correlates to why I've always been who I am, if this makes any sense. For example, let me give you some examples. So like day to day, people just think that, again, probably have it all together and like I don't struggle and like life's great. However, that's not the reality. Like, I struggle every day, some more than others, but like just the tiniest of things, like having a schedule, and like I don't know, it sounds crazy and it almost makes me sound like I'm lazy, but I just get very overstimulated. I get very overwhelmed. When I know I've got so many things to do, I have a breakdown because I don't know how to kind of like prioritize them. I don't know how to like, I'm a constant procrastinator as well. Like I procrastinate so much, and my attention span is something that's really, really hard, which is a massive thing that you need in this job. Like you need a good attention span, especially if you're editing videos, and well, I say editing is probably the biggest one. And so to not be able to sit and put your attention to something, like that's a big thing. There's a lot of things you can implement to help you be better. That's one reason why I kind of haven't gone to the doctors, because I'm trying to steer off like not being on any like medication or anything. I'm trying to just implement things to help me. But to be fair, I would be interested to know if anyone does have ADHD and they have gone down like the medication route, if it does help you in your brain, because you know, if you guys don't really know much about ADHD, it is genuinely something that's like an imbalance in your brain. And honestly, there's so many more examples. Like this is just a snippet. It's like my clean with me's. I always remember someone was like, you don't have ADHD because if you did, you wouldn't be able to do a full deep house clean in one day, because you would know ADHD people like are not that engrossed in something. Like we can't keep our attention. And I'm like, yeah, no, exactly. I don't do a house clean in one day. It'd probably take me 3 days to film a house clean because I do struggle. So it's kind of frustrating as well. It is why I don't really speak about it as much, because I think with ADHD nowadays, you hear it so much because obviously we've got social media, so more people talk about it. And then I feel like people then just think that everyone's jumping on it. Oh, she's got ADHD. Oh, she's just jumping on the bandwagon. Like truly, if you have it, you would not want to have ADHD. Like it's not something that's cool. It's not something that I want. Like it genuinely destroys my life. And that sounds really crazy, but like some weeks it does, some weeks are better, some weeks I feel like I've got a hold on my life, some weeks I genuinely struggle so much. But yeah, just relating it back to school as well, and this is how I know I had it. Like I was always that person in class that could never focus. Like focusing, no. Revising, no. I never revised for any of my GCSEs because I couldn't sit down and revise. I was always late. I never completed homework. And again, I know people can relate this to themselves and they've not got ADHD, and I think that's where the issue is sometimes, because everyone will go, oh, but I've got that and I'm not ADHD. But there's just a lot of things, and I look back and I think, oh my god, like I was genuinely really struggling. Like I got put on report. Like I was the most well-behaved kid ever. Like I was, you know, all my teachers would speak so highly of me, but when I got to college, I was always late for lessons. So then sometimes I just wouldn't turn up because I was scared of like going in and being late. But the lateness was time blindness, because I can't like organize my time, because that's, oh, there's so much. I mean, if you want a whole chat on this, I can talk about it a little bit more openly and like how I struggle and, you know, what I've been implementing to manage things better. But it is a whole thing, and I just feel like sometimes people just don't want to understand it, and they just think it's an excuse for being like lazy or just like rubbish or unorganized, and it's just, I wish it was. But yeah, it's genuinely a condition. Okay, next question. I've obviously had this one quite a few times, and I think I have addressed this quite a lot over on YouTube, but it is, would you like kids? So for those of you that don't know, I don't know if I want kids. I honestly am on the fence. I'm in the middle. I wouldn't say I'm a yes, I wouldn't say I'm a no. I would say I'm in the middle. I have fors and I have against. And honestly, it's not a great place to be in. Like I wish I was that person that was like, yes, I want kids. Like I was put on this earth to be a mum. Or I wish I was that person that's like, no, I want to be child free. Like I don't want children, and that's fine. But like being in the middle is just such, honestly, it's something that consumes my brain every day. I struggle with it. I feel like I'm the most awful person because I don't want to be a mum and I don't have that urge. And it's just, I think part of it as well is I overthink things, and I do. And so because I think so deeply about having kids, I'm not naive to the fact that it's going to be hard work. It's going to change my life massively. Like it's a long-term commitment. And I think because I've looked into every aspect of having kids, probably more than someone that just knows they want kids, it then makes me more skeptical. Does this make sense? Because I just think sometimes people are like, I want kids. So that's it, like they just jump in head first and have kids. But actually, they've probably not logistically thought of every single thing about having kids. And you see a lot of new mums that have kids and they're like so surprised by the fact that they now have to look after a human every day, and there's kind of like no escape from that. They are also shocked of how it's affecting their relationship, because there's probably loads of things that they never really discussed with their partner before having kids that then is like a massive issue because they have different parenting views, or, you know, maybe it's like a 80-20 relationship where the mum's doing 80% of the work, the guy's just doing 20%, he's going to work as normal and just doing all the fun bits, and then that's causing conflict. Like, there's just so much to having kids, and like I've thought of every single thing, and I think because I probably have maybe looked at it so in depth, it almost scares me to be a yes, because I'm like, God, this is a lot. So yeah, there's obviously so many flaws of being a mom. You know, like I get it's a love that like no other, and you know, it's half of you, half of your partner, and you know, it's a different chapter and journey. You get to experience things again for like the first time, but through your baby's eyes, and you know, I know it's such a blessing in them respects. But then like for me, there's so many other things. Like, this is going to sound really deep, but I often just think to myself like, would I want to be here if I could put myself on earth again? This is really deep, and I'm like, I actually don't know if I would. Like, life is bloody hard, and this is coming from someone that's in like a relatively good position in life. You know, I've got a beautiful house, I've got a mortgage, I've got a nice car, like I'm not financially crushed, like I'm in an okay financial situation. You know, I'm not rich, but then I'm not on the other end, like, but that even still, it's hard. Like, it's hard. Like, we have to get up every day, we have to hustle, we have to work, and you know, there's not always like loads of downtime for that. I feel like sometimes I look at rich people, right, that have got kids, and even they struggle, and I think that for me speaks a lot. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting really deep here, but it's a hard one. Also, you know, there's so many rewarding aspects to it, and you know, for me, the biggest probably pro is having adult children and like having a family, you know, when I'm 60 and my kids are grown up, and having that relationship, like that would be lovely. But again, like, things aren't guaranteed. Like, you never know, like, if your kids move abroad, like they might move to Australia, and then they might not even be around when you're older. You know, you might not be blessed with kids that even like you. I mean, hopefully they do, but anything can happen. Like, nothing's guaranteed. And then, oh yeah, guys, honestly, I feel like I could make this a whole video about talking about pros and cons of having kids. I did actually on another slide, let me try and find it, because someone said like, please can you elaborate, but this is a lot to go into. But just briefly, the cons for me were like financial pressure, loss of freedom, biggest responsibility, the anxiety it would cause. Like, I'd be worrying about that baby all the time, like, let alone when they're little, but imagine when they're like 18 going on their first night out. Like, I know what I used to get up to on a night out, like just getting stupidly drunk, making stupid decisions. That sounds really bad, like I'm not like some chaotic, well yeah, I'm quite chaos, but you know, there's so many situations I look back in my life and think, God, I was lucky to come out of that alive. Like, what was I doing? And then to have that and experience that with a kid, oh my God, it's a lot. Like, the thought of losing a kid young as well, like I thought of them getting an illness, and again, this is something else I don't think we always think about. And I know you can't just think like this, I know you can't, but like, what if your child is born and they've got some like debilitating illness? What if they, you know, need constant care? Like, there's just so much to think about. So yeah, that is the answer to that. Let's move on to something a little bit more positive. Honeymoon. Everyone's asking what I'm thinking for honeymoon. So me and Mitchell are thinking 3 weeks away over the Christmas period. He already has 2 weeks off unpaid, so for him it's like, well, if I'm having 2 weeks off unpaid, I might as well be on holiday, because he doesn't like taking holiday, because obviously he is self-employed and it is unpaid. So we're thinking, I've got my route here, what we're going to do. Thailand again, because you guys know we love Thailand. So last time we went, which was 3 years ago, we did Phuket. Phuket gets a lot of stick, but let me tell you now, if you go to the right places in Phuket, I guarantee you'll love it. Like, if you're going to, oh, what is that road? Like, is it like Bangla Road? No, like, for me personally, is not the good side of Phuket. It's interesting, it's an interesting experience, but I would not stay there. We went to Bang Tao Beach 3 nights, loved it so much. Like, I love Bangtao Beach. I'm a big advocate for Bangtao Beach. So yeah, we really enjoyed it there. And then one night in the Old Town, because that's near the ferry port, which then set us up nicely to go to PP for 3 nights. Now again, I see a lot of people hate on PP because it is more like a party island, I would say. But, and like there is parts of it where it is a little bit of a dump, I won't lie. But we really enjoyed PP. But we did stay in probably one of the nicer hotels. We stayed in them little, oh, they're like, what are they called? Like outdoor bungalow chalet? No, huts. Like, I'll leave the recommendation of where we stayed. I will warn you, if you do stay there, take earplugs because you can hear the music from the beach. Even though the beach is quite a way away, the bass and the music, and because you're in these like little outdoor hut things, that sounds really weird, doesn't it? But yeah, just trust me. But that is the best place to stay. We looked at where to stay in PP for so long. And yeah, that's where we went, and we did really enjoy it there. Now, Krabi actually was my least favourite place. I didn't love Krabi. I think that was partly due to the hotel we stayed in. I feel like if we stayed in a better hotel, I would have enjoyed it more. But I found like where we stayed in Krabi just, again, quite commercial, and just, I didn't love it. We did get the ferry, not the ferry, like the longtail boat thing over to Rayleigh Beach. Loved that a lot more, so wish we'd probably had like a night there instead. Then we went to Koh Sok, which is the national park, so it's like in the jungle, and that was unbelievable. Really recommend that. And then we went back just to Phuket for a night before we flew home. Okay, so itinerary for this year is, this is in no order by the way, but these are just some of the places on our list. Bangkok, I know that gets a little bit of stick, but it's just somewhere I want to go and experience. Koh Tao, Koh Samui, Chiang Mai, Koh Lanta and Koh Phangan. Now, I know with Koh Phangan, again, a lot of people will be like, oh, if you're not interested in the full moon party, don't go, it's like no good. But then I did see someone that said with Koh Phangan, actually it is beautiful if you go and explore the island. It's like anything, if you stay in like one place, like it might be over touristy or just like not the vibe, but if you actually explore and go out at the touristy bits, it's apparently beautiful. So yeah, let me know if there's any other little islands or anywhere you'd recommend. But that's kind of roughly, we'd probably have to narrow that down because we're only doing 3 weeks, but we normally tend to do like 2 or 3 nights in each. So yeah, I'm so excited for that. I can't wait to go back to Thailand. It's genuinely one of my favorite places ever. Okay, gonna try and answer a couple more because we need to wrap this up before I end up making this like an hour-long chatty video. Someone's asked, has your dad ever admitted that he was wrong to doubt your job? Love your content. So I feel like with my dad, again, if you guys have been here for a while, you will know that when I said to my parents, right, I'm quitting my job, I'm going to do YouTube full time, they were a bit like, what are you doing? Like mum, not so much, but dad definitely was like, you can't quit a 9 to 5 that's like okay money to go and do something that's not guaranteed. And he kind of compared it to be a footballer. He was like, it's like wanting to be a footballer. There's so many young girls that want that. You're not going to make it, essentially. And he was quite hard on me. It was a lot of, it's tough love, but it doesn't always come across like that. It did come across at the time very negative and, you know, almost stopping me, trying to like stop me from pursuing my dreams. But for me, I took it the other way, and it was like, that was my ammunition to be like, do you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. So I stuck to my guns. I did it. I left my job. I was obviously living at home at the time, but it did cause a lot of friction between me and my dad, I won't lie. And that much so, I remember us having like some blazing argument. Like me and my dad, we argued so much when I lived with him. We're too similar. I think that's what it actually is as well. And it was funny. So I probably left my job for like 4-6 weeks, and then we had this blazing argument, and I was like, I'm moving out. I am moving out. I've got no money, but I'm moving out. So I found this gorgeous luxury barn conversion that realistically, could I really afford that at the time? Not really. It was like £1,200-300 a month rent plus bills, the gas. Oh my god, if you was here with the gas bills, extortionate. So it was probably costing me between like 1.8-2 grand to live. Some months I couldn't even afford it. In the early days, like the first 4 or 5 months, I really could not afford to be living there. But it was one of those where I was like, I will make this work. And I did. And then it got better, it got easier. And then I was getting more brand deals in. And then I was affording it a little bit more comfortable. Like still not like absolutely raking it in, but long and the short, I'm 8 years down the line now. I'm still doing this as a full-time job. I now own my own home. I own my own car. Like, life is good. And it just goes to show that sometimes parents are just giving you tough love. Like, I think he almost did that to, like I say, give me the ammunition to go and do it and achieve it and prove him wrong. I don't think it's always necessarily right being that negative, and I think even my dad would probably admit that as well. But yeah, anyway, my dad hasn't ever admitted he's wrong, but I know he's really proud of me and he's really supportive now, and yeah, he's really happy for me, and we're all good, and we have a better relationship than we ever did, like living together. Like, just living together wasn't right for us. So if anyone else doesn't get on with their dad currently because they live at home with them, let me just tell you, like, as soon as you move out, you have such a better relationship, because we definitely do now. Oh, that's the most lucrative part of your job. Brand deals, 100%. Like, brand deals, oh my god, like, if you guys knew how much some of these big content creators were getting paid for their brand deals, put it this way, they could afford to not work for the entirety of the year. Like, it's actually madness. And I do think it gets quite a bad, like, not, what am I trying to say? A lot of people are like, oh, it's ridiculous they're getting paid that amount of money, but da-da-da-da-da. It's just the nature of their job. Like, if you think about it, like, let's say I work with this lip gloss company, right? And this is my go-to lip gloss, which it is. I love this lip gloss. But let's say, oh god, I then get to work with this lip gloss company. Number one, that's a very natural collaboration for me because I use this every single day. But then, let's say I sell 100,000 of these. You think how much money I'm making for that brand. So that is why they then have the capability of paying you big bucks. Because if you are influencing your audience, if you have a big audience, you influence them. Because let's be honest, I don't know about anyone else, but if I watch someone and I see them put on a new bit of makeup and I'm like, oh my god, I need that. Like, I get influenced all the time, and we all do. Like, it's just part of like what we consume and part of life, you know. Even with your friend, you see them wearing a new coat and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get that. But like I say, it's just obviously different with content creators because we're online, there's a mass more audience. And so for brands, you know, let's say someone like Molly May, who's got, I don't know how many followers she's got now, what, like 8-10 million. Like, that is that investment that they give her and the money they pay her, which will be a mass amount, will make them, I don't know, double, triple. I don't know the statistics, but like, that's why they get paid that much, because they're making so much money for a company and the money's there and it's a good investment for a company. So yeah, that's how it works, and it is wild. But equally, I don't just work with anyone. Like, there's so much more money that I could sometimes make in this job, and there's so many brand deals that, you know, nice numbers could take that, but like, for me, it's just not worth it. If I don't use something daily, if I don't love the product, won't work with them. Like, there was a collaboration last year I had, it was some deodorant company. I see so many people promote it. I tried it, I stunk. Smelt a BO. I was like, don't matter what you're offering me here, right? I'm not promoting that deodorant because it's bloody crap. So, but then I see so many people promote it, and then that's when I know when people are genuine and not, because I see so many things that I've turned down, which, look, it might work with someone else, or they might like that product, but a lot of the time I'm like, nah, you don't like that, you're just getting paid good money. And that's fine if they want to do that, but for me, just know whenever I show you something, like, I genuinely use them products and I genuinely like it. A lot of the times when I work with brands as well, I'll also say, like, before I even sign things, I'm like, send me the stuff first. Like, because sometimes it may be a new thing, it may be a new piece of skincare, it may be a new hair product, but I'm like, let me try it first. If I love it and like it, we'll work together, we'll have a chat. If I don't, no point, no point. So yeah, obviously I will say as well, things like skincare, makeup, it is all kind of opinions as well, because I might like a mascara, right, let's say, it works great for me, you might buy it, might not work great on you. Does anyone else ever find that? Like, I've had it before where friends have just said to me, oh, this mascara, so good, I've gone and got it, and it's like my lashes are just not the same. So I would say sometimes it might just be a case of things don't work. It's not like a one size fits all, like, especially if sometimes maybe like beauty products doesn't always apply to everyone that it's gonna work. Anyway, tangent. Boom. Right, gonna end on two more very quickly. Will you get a spray tan or do your own tan for your wedding? Let me know what you think for this, because I don't go in the sun. You guys know I don't. Back to 50 always. Don't tan. And yeah, but then like part of me is like, oh, do I just go in the sun for a week before my holiday and get a natural tan, so then I'm not worrying about being patchy, worrying about marks on my dress and stuff, or do I get a spray tan? I've never even had a spray tan, so let me know, because I really don't know the answer to that one. I also have actually had a question about my lipsticks. So many people ask this. You might have realised just lately I've been using a new lip combo. I haven't actually got the other, I don't know what I've done with it. There's 2 shades I use of this, but essentially the lip gloss I've been using just lately is the Drip Glass Glazed by Morphe. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You will most likely catch this on offer on Lookfantastic. Sometimes my code works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes there's other discounts on the website. But even at retail, I think it's like £12. And just trust me, shade Nude Gleam is my favourite. This one today is Pink Mirror. Look how pink it looks. It's actually not that pink, let me show you. But honestly, the Nude Gleam is also my favourite. I can't decide between the two. And then lip liner. This is very much like that overlined lip. So some people might want to blend it in a little bit. I try and blend it so it's not like a thick line, but it is a darker lip liner. But that is the kind of look I like. Like, I like to kind of make my lips look a little bit more fuller. And this is the Kylie Cosmetics in shade Lure. All her lip liners are 10 out of 10, and again, quite an affordable brand. My code, by the way, sorry, little plug, LAURAMLF. If you do ever go on Lookfantastic, please use my code. Like, it helps me out so much, more than you guys realise. Like, it helps me do this job, it helps me work with them. So I'd really appreciate it. I genuinely would. So I'll leave it on screen just in case. Just in case. That's my lip gloss combo at the moment, and it's all I'm pretty much wearing. Okay, let's end on my coffee machine, because I also had so many messages about my coffee machine, which fits nicely because I need to finish this off. Really want your honest opinion on your coffee machine. Do you think the Sage? Well, I have the Ninja one for a start, so I can't comment on Sage. I don't have Sage, so I don't know. I have the Ninja coffee machine, for any of you that don't know. I bought it on Black Friday. It's the Pro one, so it's the one above like the slightly cheaper model. I just thought, if I'm going all in on getting a new coffee machine, I'd rather just spend the £100–150 more and get the latest and like better version. And there were quite a lot of differences, so that also did sway me. If there wasn't many differences, I might have been like, just get the other model. But this model had a lot of features that appealed to me more. It has a built-in tamper, an extra large like milk frother. It has a cold foam setting, so it's very geared to like cold coffees as well. You don't have to weigh your beans out. It's just practical for my day-to-day life. I want a bean coffee machine, but without all the faff. Yeah, it's the best purchase I've made. I know it's expensive. Like, I think full price is £700, which I know is an extortionate, disgusting amount, but I don't buy takeout coffees now. I swear to you guys, I don't buy takeout coffees. I will be chucked off the gold membership at Starbucks at this rate, because I can't justify it. I can make a gorgeous coffee at home now, so why would I buy a £6 coffee out? Like, yeah, I'm probably saving £20 a week. So you work that out over the year, you've probably bought yourself a coffee machine. So that's how I kind of look at it. And then once I've like gone a year, anything else now is just money in my pocket, because even the beans, they don't cost that much compared to what you're spending on a takeout coffee 3–4 times a week. Anyway, I'll leave a link to my actual machine just so you know. I need to go now, but thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little chin wag and catch up. Let me know if you want me to do another one of these in the future. Obviously not anytime soon, because I feel like I've caught you up on everything. Well, a lot of things. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.